SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C-Spire. Power your home or business with C-Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C-Spire. C-Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
We have arrived. Brian Hadad spent all day preparing for this show. Hours worth of notes, our PGA Championship preview, as told by Brian Hadad. Again, he's worked hard on this. I'm so excited for a 3-hour breakdown of what he expects to see at Aronimink starting tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern time. 5:30 Central is when the guys are going to start playing tomorrow, and Hadad has got takes on over 150 players in the field. He's got a thought on each one of them.
That's when Benjamin Griffin and Braden Shattuck and Alex Fitzpatrick will tee off at Aronimink. Benny Booms, Ben Griffin, he signed James's hat at the Zurich a couple of weeks ago. Very
so
good.
Big
Very
fan
good.
of his now.
Yes.
But yeah, Hadad, all right, I'm just going to get out of the way. You tell us for the next 3 hours what's going to happen this week.
Well, I tell you, going to be an interesting field for sure. The Spaniard, David Puig, will be somebody to keep an eye on. The Jamaican, or is he South African? He's South African. Aldridge Poitgeiter. Potgeeter. That's somebody to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's like 19, and he hits the ball a mile.
If you said, Brian, just give me 3, guys to keep an eye on, let me tell you, sort of off the radar with my picks, but I'm going to go Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Cam Smith.
Cam
Young. Those are guys that, call me crazy, I think they've got a great shot to win.
And you looked at it analytically and just came to that conclusion without knowing that it's the number 1, 2, and 3 ranked player in the world.
Those are the top 3 players in the world? Well, then that's why they're probably the favorites.
No, we are not doing that today, although I am excited. I will...
Bud Cauley, keep an eye on him. Pick somebody random here.
Bud Cauley, yeah, I mean, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate
the
that. The
Canadian, Corey Connors.
Oh, he's had the yips lately, though.
I've heard this course really suits his game.
I want to see you accidentally pick one of the club pros that gets in the field, and he's going to shoot like 20 over.
We need to really have 2 guys from Sports Talk Mississippi or from Super Talk Mississippi on the call. So if you want to get me the code to get me on the call with you, and I'll get up that early to be on the call for the PGA Championship.
I actually kind of like Chris Gotterup, but that's not what we're here. All joking aside, we are not going to have a 3-hour preview show of the PGA Championship. We are also not going to have Kiffin Talk Mississippi today. I am a little surprised that there has not been a 4th "Here's Why I Left" interview that Lane Kiffin has done, because, again, it has not gone well, so I figured he would try one more time. He did tweet on his dog that he abandons Twitter account today for the first time.
No.
Yeah.
Was it pro Kiffin?
It was a picture of him fishing and was like, "Thank you for not taking me with you," which is so funny because he didn't take. Did he not realize when he tweeted that everybody knows he abandoned his dog? Or did you forget about that? But no new article today, so we're in the clear. We are going to talk about baseball. We're going to talk to a baseball expert today. We've got some interesting pitching stuff going on in both Mississippi State A&M and Ole Miss Alabama. Less so for Ole Miss Alabama. There's a flip-flop in Mike Bianco's rotation this weekend. We'll talk about that. Hunter Elliott's still going in game one, but flip the other two. But there's a TBA with Mississippi State that's interesting, and then there's just an out for Texas A&M that is interesting. Ole Miss gets a win last night. Judd Utermark etched his name in history at Ole Miss. And so we'll talk about all that. Got a college football fix for you. The ACC unanimously wants a 2014 playoff. They were told by a very important factor in this discussion, we don't want this. We'll tell you all about all that and more. So much to get to. Gonna have fun as well. Glad you guys are here.
We are glad you're here with us in the Pearl River Resort Studios. Pearl River Resort, the home of entertainment, the home of fine dining, the home of championship golf, the home of great, exciting, gaming. It's all right there for you at Pearl River Resort. Whatever you want to do this weekend, we can make it happen for you with a trip to Pearl River Resort. C Spire text line open to you at 601-879-4395. With C Spire, it's easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, plus 100 gigs of data for just $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 and Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, and a free smartwatch and tablet to go with it. Don't wait. There's more to see. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C Spire store today. C Spire, inspired by, guess who? You.
All right, starting with baseball. Ole Miss won last night. UT Martin, not a good team. I believe Chase Parham with the stat that UT Martin has never finished above 500. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. So not a particularly good team. Ole Miss does run rule them, though. 17-6, the final score. Put up a 10 spot in the second, did Ole Miss. And Judd Utermark. Two big takeaways from this game is the first, the career accolade. Judd Utermark, now the home run king at Ole Miss, hit it early in that game last night. They did a really good job on social media as well with, congratulations videos from former teammates, the gentleman whose record he broke. It was a really well done thing. I wish that would have happened during an SEC weekend where he could have had the 12,000 people, done a true curtain call, that kind of stuff. But still, a really good moment, well-deserved for the now home run king at Ole Miss. So that was good. And then the other thing, I know UT Martin's really bad. RPI in, 280s going into last night. Not a good team. But Ole Miss just dispatched of them early. They were locked in early, scored a bunch of runs, and just made sure that any weirdness was not possible for them last night. That could have very easily been a group of distracted baseball players looking ahead to Alabama, not really focused on this game, put up a bunch of innings in a row without scoring a run and making it just kind of weird. And they didn't do that. They dominated as they should have, run ruled, and got out of there. So good on them. Good job, Ole Miss, last night, avoiding any kind of issue, and their RPI did not drop at all. So mission accomplished for Ole Miss last night. Anything else to take away from that game? Probably not, other than the home run record and mission accomplished.
You'll take it. Interesting that in the last 2 years we've seen the Ole Miss and Mississippi State home run records fall.
And this is the dead bat era.
It is.
Now, of course, it's also the launch angle and spin rate era too. But it's not like they're swinging the
other side
bouncy houses that they had.
Who was the previous record holder? Okay. We had this discussion a while back, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, and this is really bad, admittedly.
Yeah, for you especially.
Well, it was long before my time, so that's why his name just.
I hate to be the one that tells you this. I was 9 when Palmero happened.
Kyle Gordon.
So I have no memory of that player. And if you said name Ole Miss's home run leader, I would guess 20 guys before I guessed that guy. So,
and it was in 1987, so it was before I was born.
I mean, you're talking about that's one of the worst eras of Ole Miss baseball. So the fact that guy hit with that many home runs is pretty impressive. But that's my point. Is like even with Hunter Hines, like if you ask somebody off the street who is the all-time leading home run hitter in Mississippi State history, they're not going Hunter Hines. But that's who the answer is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I would go to.
Yes, I mean,
That.
I think I said Elko was my pick for that, and he's not. It's not him. It's not Stephen Head. It's not Seth Smith. It's anybody like that. It's just this other guy.
Yeah,
it's weird how that works sometimes.
It is weird how that works sometimes. So, yeah,
that's what I said. I just said that.
I know. But yeah, I mean that's it. Ole Miss, good job. Now
somebody update the Wikipedia page. By the way, they don't even have Utermark in the top 10 here.
Somebody says Kyle Gordon's the absolute man, heck of an ENT doctor in Madison. Okay. I need to go see him then.
Shout out to Kyle Gordon,
Dr. Gordon. Yeah. All right, my neighbor, probably not my neighbor if he's a doctor.
No,
I say my neighbor for everybody that lives in the town in which I live. No,
if you
I have a feeling a
when
doctor.
You live in Madison, your family.
Yeah, I know my neighborhood. Ain't no doctors in my neighborhood,
no.
But no, that's all. That's awesome. Glad to hear it, and congratulations to Judd Utermark. And I did see the video of Kyle Gordon, kind of passing the torch on to him. It was classy and well done, and Ole Miss avoided the drama. So now all eyes ahead to this weekend. Let's talk about this weekend when we come back. Some pitching shakeups. We'll do that when we return. Just getting started with you, Sports Talk Mississippi in the Pearl River Resort Studio.
From the Venable.
What do they want?
Exciting news.
Brace yourself.
More Sports Talk Mississippi. Now.
Welcome back in Sports Talk Mississippi, 601-879-4395. So glad that you guys are with us. So, pitching shakeup. Little less surprising. I mean, not as interesting, so to speak. Rabe and Townsend are just flipping for Ole Miss this weekend. I don't quite know why. Maybe it's a matchup thing. I don't know. But they are. Same three guys, though.
Maybe something setting up for the tournament?
Maybe that. Lot of reasons to possibly do that. I don't know exactly what they are, but it's not that big of a deal. Same three guys, just game 2 and game 3 are flipping. Mm-hmm. Different story, though, I was about to say Starkville. Not in Starkville. In College Station this weekend, Mississippi State going TBA in game 3. McPherson not slated to pitch anyway.
Well, when we talked to O'Connor on Monday, he kind of addressed that. They're going to evaluate him all the way up until make sure that he's good to go. And if he's good to go, he'll get the start. If he's not good to go, my first thought was, how do they manage Jack Bauer? Because that feels like the guy they would give the start to at this time.
Is it ankle or arm?
It's the ankle. The arm's fine. Like, if he hadn't taken that tumble Saturday, he was probably going to pitch another 4 or 5 pitches and then come out. But the plan was probably this week to try to get him up to closer to 50, 60 pitches. But the ankle injury is the issue. So if he's not good there, they'll go somewhere else. But if he is good, he's going to start. So for State, I think it's going to end up being McPherson. I feel like he'll be okay. And so you'll go Valinkas, Stone, and then, as I mentioned, McPherson. On the other side of things with Texas A&M, however, is where the big issues are. Their head coach, Michael Early, today said that their best starting pitcher, Aiden Sims, who's been really good for the Aggies this year, is not going to start this weekend. He's had some tightness, is how they described it, and in such a way that they're going to give him some rest going into the I would assume into the SEC tournament, but could possibly be further than that. He's 8-1 on the year, 3.84 ERA. Batters hitting .213 against him. As a staff, this is not a great pitching team, Texas A&M.
They are not.
4.85 team ERA. Teams hit .265 against them. So they're going with. Oh, I had the rotation up here for a second.
Last 2 starts, for what it's worth, on him. He went 5 complete against Auburn 2 weeks ago, but gave up 5 runs. And then last week he did get the win, but only pitched 3 innings. Ole Miss ran his pitch count up pretty high, and he got chased in that game too. So they already, like you said, aren't exactly the best pitching team out there, and this is just going to stress them even more.
And so their starting rotation, announced anyway, is left-hander Ethan Darden, who's 4-1 on the season, but has only started 1 game. So this will be his second ever start. And then their TBA Friday, Saturday. So just on paper here, especially if McPherson is good to go, which I believe he's going to be, State has a really big advantage here from a pitching standpoint. In a series where if they could win this series, if they can get 2 games, I really do feel confident they're going to, A&M, I think both projections yesterday had A&M in the top 8. I think State would jump them and get in there. Now, State would have to jump some other teams as well, but I do think a 2 out of 3 weekend for State puts them into the top 8. But just on paper, State's going to have a little bit of an advantage with Texas A&M's pitching in so much flux.
Darden last week did start against Ole Miss as well. They've had some injury issues and unable to figure out a rotation at A&M to begin with. Started the game 1 of the series, pitched 2 complete. Gave up 2 runs in those 2 innings to start the game. So even though he started, they didn't. I mean, he only threw 34 pitches. They did not use him or extend him like a starter, if that makes sense. Maybe they do this week. I don't know. Maybe there was a strategic element to doing what they did. But, again, a starting pitcher for A&M this weekend is not even a starting pitcher. Like you said, that illustrates it.
So we'll see how that pans out. I don't know how Warren Nolan does his analytics. I don't know how they do I don't know what their algorithms are. I barely know what an algorithm is, let alone what theirs are. But they have been pretty steadfast over the last 2 weeks that State's going to sweep this series. And last week they predicted State to lose 2 out of 3 to Auburn. That's exactly what happened. Their analytics this week have got State sweeping this series. I have difficulty seeing that myself. I think State would be doing incredibly, incredibly well to get 2 games. And just to get 1 game will be a difficult task. But I think part of that is just because the way State has played against the top teams this year gives me some pause on that. But the other side of that coin is they've been really good on the road. It's really funny when you think about their road record. If State could win this series, we'll go there, right? So they get 2 out of 3. They'd be 10-5 on the road. Michael, that's usually the record of the team that wins the conference.
Yeah.
Like you would think, okay, 10-5 on the road, they were probably what?
The number 1 team in the country.
11-4 or 12-3 at home, and they went 22-8, and they easily won the SEC. But this team is 7-8 at home. They regardless, even if they get swept this weekend, they will finish the season with more wins on the road than at home. That's just a weird outlier statistic.
They're distracted by the grills in the outfield, the smell, the barbecue smell. It gets to them. When they go on the road, they don't smell that, and they play better.
Well, then if I'm A&M, I'm going to get, somebody
get me some grills out there.
I'm just going to get some liquid smoke and just spray the field with it or something. I don't know. Just make it easy.
Ball 5.
So annoying.
5.
But that's their thing. So, we've talked about it all week. Ole Miss needs 2. State just needs 1 to host. If they want to be a super regional, though, it starts with 2. And then for Southern Mississippi, hosting this weekend down in Hattiesburg with Georgia Southern, they need all 3. I think they need. I'll say this: they need. If they get 2 out of 3, the Hattiesburg regional is still on. That's that. The Hattiesburg regional is as close to locked in as you can get.
Very close.
Like it really is in the same tier, almost with like UCLA and Georgia Tech. Like they're going to host. I don't see them dropping out of the top 16 at this point. But a sweep
seems very unlikely.
A sweep and a good run in the Sun Belt tournament, especially if they can get ahead of Coastal, right? If Coastal drops a couple games this weekend and Southern Mississippi can win the Sun Belt, and then you get a good run in the tournament, they could be number 8.
Certainly could be.
And at that point, especially if State wins 2, you could very easily have Hattiesburg paired with Starkville.
Our resident Arkansas fan, Hogman, says Hogman likes it when pitchers are good enough to run rule the first game of a series. Well, Hogman, can any of those pitchers play quarterback?
Well, I mean, the other side of
because that would help a lot
when
if
you say
Arkansas
pitchers
could
that are
find
good
a
enough to
quarterback
run
on
rule
the
the first
pitching
game of the
staff.
series. The hitters have a lot more to do with that. Like, you could pitch 9 shutout innings and not run rule somebody.
Can any of those guys play linebacker or something? I mean,
All right, calm down.
If I were Ryan Silverfield, I'd be turning to the baseball team to see if anybody can help me out. Don't tell me to calm down. I am enjoying picking at Hogman.
You can't switch sports like that.
Yes, I can.
You shouldn't do that. You got to stay on
Yes, I
task.
can. Because football is everything, and Arkansas is nothing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but we're talking about baseball here.
Yeah, but I got to
It's
chirp.
baseball
I got to chirp
discussion.
Hogman, and we can't baseball chirp Hogman.
Well, we can't chirp him then.
Yes, we can.
He's got us on this one. We'll get him back in. Well, neither one of us are going to get him back in the fall because neither one of our teams play.
Yeah, but we'll watch Arkansas play, and they'll be, they'll be what they are.
Yeah.
Man, appreciate you, Hogman. We get this text a lot. Got to be a little pressure issue at home in front of the large crowds. Then, God forbid, they go to the College World Series.
Well, I mean, they played in front of large crowds. They played in front of large crowds in Oxford.
Huge crowds in Oxford, and
they played in front of large crowds. I mean, they lost 2 out of 3, but they were more competitive at Arkansas than they were in some of the games against Georgia and Tennessee. So I just and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be big crowds this weekend. Texas A&M fans are gonna show up.
Huge, yeah.
So
I mean, and they've added to that ballpark. Yeah, that's a tough place to play.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know the thought process there. So do you think State and
at
Ole Miss
home
will
their
play each
opponents
other?
are better fed than they
All
are.
right,
So that's probably
all
what
right.
it is.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Hold on.
I don't really want to have that discussion.
I know.
I really don't.
Well, you were laughing and eating popcorn about the Ole Miss discussion, and the second I bring up any
that's different.
sensitive,
It's not that it's a sensitive topic. It's just that it's just so beaten down at this point, and like there's no changing anybody's mind on it. So whatever. Anyway, somebody asked, do we think State and Ole Miss will play each other on the SEC tournament on Wednesday? No.
As the bracket currently sits, that is not.
Yeah, as the bracket currently sits, they're on complete opposite sides of the bracket. Like they could only play in the final, the way it sits right this second. So chances are, the way that the weekend's going to play out is probably going to have some shuffling around. It seems unlikely at this time. I'm hopeful that won't happen.
And then somebody's asking if State gets swept, with the caveat that he doesn't think they will. Mm-hmm. Does that realistically change anything? Yes, it does.
They wouldn't host if they got swept, I don't think.
Certainly puts that in jeopardy.
They wouldn't. I don't think they would host. If they did, they'd be paired with UCLA. So
something cool is happening on Thursday related to baseball. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
From the Sebro.com.
Our Sports Talk Mississippi. Now.
Somebody suggested to help Mississippi State's issues at home, make them use the other dugout. Remove all the luxury.
I don't know if that would work. I don't know.
Maybe things are too nice. I do wonder at times when you get these new locker rooms and stuff like that, at what point is it too comfortable in there? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like you've got these chairs in these locker rooms now that lay down into day beds for these guys. Like, are you too comfortable pregame? Shouldn't you be a little bit on the edge? Shouldn't there be a little bit of a weird smell in the locker room that gets you fired up to play football?
That locker room smell is something that stays with you through the years.
Oh, it does.
Like we did a remote one time at Colin, and they were like, "Hey, do a video for us from the locker room." And you walk in, and I was like, I haven't smelled that smell in 25 years, but it's still up there.
Brings you right back.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's like 18 again.
Austin wants to know, went high octave there, if Ole Miss and State both get the series this weekend. You don't lose on purpose necessarily, but would it be best to go to Hoover and get out as fast as possible? My answer is yes.
Yes. I mean, again, Chris Lemonis can tell me till he's blue in the face that he wasn't trying to do that in 2021. I'll never believe him. But yeah, if Ole Miss knows they're going to host and State gets 2 games and they feel really, State would be maybe get one more win, just to lock in that 8 seed. But I would feel pretty good about them at where they were. But yeah, if I'm Mississippi State, and I asked O'Connor about this a few weeks ago, and he talked about, he said that he had the politically correct answer. He was like, hey, if I go to a tournament, I go to win it. Great, sounds good on paper. But yes, if I'm State, maybe win the first one that you play, or try to win the first one, but then after that, you can get out of there. Unless you're just really wanting to find a way to get McPherson another day of work. I don't know.
Wonder if you don't pitch him this week, especially if you get 2 already. If you don't pitch him this weekend, you pitch him game 1 in Hoover.
I was just thinking that, and somebody mentioned it on the C Spire text line. Like, if State wins the first 2, I'll just throw whoever on Sunday. I'll feel good about it, whatever. I mean, at that point, they're throwing TBA as well, right? So maybe it's a slugfest that you can win. But regardless, if I get the first 2, yeah, I think you might have a point there. And then just, when you pitch on Wednesday, there's McPherson, and then he's off until, Saturday of the next week when there's a regional.
Exactly. All right, so I said something cool is coming to Thursday night. For the first time ever, ESPN is actually going to cover college baseball in the regular season. On ESPN2 or ESPN Plus, starting at 5 o'clock Central, running to 9:30 Central. I don't know if that's late enough necessarily, but from 5 to 9:30 on ESPN2, they're doing squeeze play. If you're not familiar with what that is, think NFL Red Zone, but for college baseball. Matt, is it Schick? Matt Schick and Mike Rooney will be in the studio, bouncing between 9 games. So they've got 9 featured games that they'll do, split screen. They'll do quad box if they need to cover all of the action on Thursday night. Obviously, 2 of the 9 games are State at A&M, Ole Miss at Alabama. So you can TV1, TV2, like have your game to where you don't miss a pitch and then have the rotation. Also, Georgia Tech, Boston College, major postseason implications there. TCU, West Virginia, same thing. How about this? UAB, UTSA, showing a little love to the American, also a postseason implicated series. North Carolina, NC State, Arizona State, Houston, Georgia, Auburn. By the way, Auburn lost last night.
So did Georgia Tech. And yet somehow Auburn jumped them in the RPI. Auburn is now number 2 in the RPI.
And Kansas, BYU. So that's what they're doing tomorrow night. Gosh, tomorrow's Thursday already. That's what they're doing tomorrow night.
That's cool. Very cool. And you're right about one thing. Getting that on main ESPN in the regular season on a Thursday is a rare thing. I'm very surprised. Is there not an NBA playoff game or something?
So it's ESPN2.
Okay.
But still, I mean, you got hockey playoffs going on. You've got NBA playoffs, as you mentioned, going on. Let's look at the schedule tomorrow night. Why not?
At MLB happening? I don't know.
And they don't really have the rights to many of those, unfortunately. But,
true.
No NBA games tomorrow.
Huh. Well, I mean, I guess, the Western Conference, one of them's already done. The Eastern Conference, the Knicks already knocked out the Sixers. Is that done?
Oh, yeah, they swept, didn't they?
They swept them.
And then Daryl Morey got fired?
I saw that he got fired.
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. I did see he got fired. I guess they wouldn't fire him with game 4.
And 2 hockey games tomorrow, but that is on TNT.
Well, there you go.
Cool.
Well, yeah. I'm all about getting college baseball some coverage, all right? Let's grow the game a little bit here. Nothing wrong with that idea whatsoever.
Somebody says your goal in the SEC tournament should be to go far enough to where Valinkis and Duke can get some innings.
I'm trying to remember in 2021 how that went. Like, I think they threw, Landon Sims came into the game where State was down a ton just so that he could pitch. I'm trying to remember if Bednar and McLeod.
Who were they playing that day? Was it Tennessee?
They played Florida and then Tennessee and just got destroyed in both games. And I remember we were doing the show and we were like, are they okay? Are they going to be all right? I mean, they're still going to host, but gosh, they're not going to be. What's going on? And then next thing you know, we look up and they're winning the national title. So we'll see.
As you said earlier, you could feel that they weren't particularly disappointed with the results.
I have always gotten that feeling from them. So yeah,
especially with Lamotis, he was just like, whatever. Like,
yeah, he knew what he had.
Yeah, certainly so. Oh, and also, NFL schedule release day is tomorrow too.
There you go.
But still, you're still getting the ESPN2 treatment.
Yeah.
NFL schedule release would be their excuse to not do this, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This is a concerted effort to actually put baseball on a platform. It's a good test case, to be honest with you. That they're going to look at the viewership number and make decisions about the future. I mean, that's what they do. Sports are doing well, and they're doing well, and studio programming there doesn't do well anymore. Mm-hmm. And so maybe you're looking at a Friday night in the regular season where they do this more often. If tomorrow goes well, hopefully it goes well.
I found it. So State in game 1, I forget who they started in that one. It's not really important. But in game 2, they started Christian McLeod, who had been their Friday night guy all year. And then they brought in Bednar for a couple innings, and they gave Landon Sims a third of an inning where he gave up 5 hits.
What a bum.
That's got to be the worst third of an inning of Landon Sims' career. I think, well, here's what it is. At the time that the score was 8-2, I think, I won't be totally shocked if Lamotis was like, hey, just throw the ball over the middle. All right, let's just get the heck out of here. Let's call it a day. And they did.
Yeah, throw strikes. If they hit it, they hit it.
If they hit it, they hit it. God bless them. So
protect your elbow.
Yeah. Who did Sam? I'm going to go back and find out who State started in that first game. I remember they started somebody. They were like, "Oh, this guy could be a big factor if he does something in this game," and he was awful. Well, yeah, who's the box score here? State started Brandon Smith. Yeah, I remember they were like, "Oh, Brandon Smith, maybe he could be that 4th starter." And 2 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned, a couple walks. Not great. So,
no, not great at all.
You just like I said, you just don't worry about it.
No.
So yeah,
you gonna drive over to Hoover?
No. Why? I have to be on this show. What am I gonna do?
Do it from the parking lot or something, from your hotel room. I don't know.
My hotel. What? No,
you got to be there for the magic of the SEC baseball tournament.
If SuperTalk Mississippi wants me in Hoover, they better send you too, and we better have a whole thing. I'm not going solo on this one, no.
I don't even know if I would want to if they paid us to do it.
Well, I mean, if they paid us to do it, we'll go to Hoover. That's not a big deal at all. Oh yeah, I mean, it's a fun event. Get to see some of our friends, but it's just not. It's just not. It just doesn't have the same meaning for whatever reason that it used to.
Because all these teams are making the postseason,
right?
And
the teams that aren't making it have no chance. Like LSU is not winning 5 games in 5 days. South Carolina and Missouri aren't winning 5 games in 5 days. I don't know who the other team is that's out right this second, but who's in the bottom 4?
Vanderbilt.
Vandy is 12. Vandy is not winning 5 games in 5 days. They're just not.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to, by the way, when Corbin retires, the extremely honest and always rational thinking sports media does here's another legendary coach stepping away because of NIL.
Yes, that will happen.
And not because he had a
They invented NIL at Vanderbilt.
No kidding. Sports Talk Mississippi, 601-879-4395. We'll be back in just a bit.
It's time to get real.
Real sports talk for Mississippi.
It's time for you to get real with it.
Sports Talk Mississippi continues on Super Talk Mississippi.
Genteel Apparel is the official apparel provider of Sports Talk Mississippi. I mean, it's hot outside, but Borkey is always rocking that Genteel pullover. Why? Because it's cool. The fabric is light. Yep. You can wear it even when it's warm weather outside. I am wearing my the classic black polo today, which means one thing, guys. If you're a bigger guy, you can get something from Genteel Apparel. They've got the big guy sizes there for you: pants, shirts, shorts, and of course swim trunks with the patented escape hatch technology. Check it all out, and of course the collegiate collection at genteelapparel.com.
Have you watched a second of Netflix's Quarterback?
No.
It's a documentary that follows closely multiple quarterbacks in the NFL. I have not watched a second of it, and maybe I should. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any fanfare about it. I don't remember ever talking about it on here or seeing anybody clip it or anything. But if that's your thing, Jaden Daniels, Joe Flacco, Baker Mayfield, and Cam Ward are the four quarterbacks that are going to be followed in this documentary this season. I'm not clicking. I don't know, man. Like, I'm always looking for sports things to consume. I don't know why. That doesn't move me at all.
The Netflix thing, too, with me, when the Florida thing came out and it was just like a puff piece.
It was crap.
It kind of soured me. Now, what's kind of funny, which is they did the Vince McMahon thing, and I thought that was really, really good. And they dove into some of the darker stuff, and that was fine. But the Florida thing soured me on some of their sports documentaries.
That really, if you guys didn't watch it, as Hadad said, it was almost like Urban Meyer gets to tell his side of the story, and that's the only side of the story we're going to tell.
Yeah.
That was one of the most bizarre, in hindsight, collection of football players possibly in the history of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Tebow being what he was, Aaron Hernandez being what he was and what he became. Riley Cooper mixed in there. What, the Pouncey twins were on that team too, weren't they? I mean,
Percy Harvin.
You mean Percy Harvey?
No, I don't. I meant Percy Harvin.
Go Gator.
I meant what I said.
Percy Harvey.
Yeah.
Coach Irving Myers. Yeah. But they didn't profile any of the real stuff about that team.
Yeah, so that's why I just...
And I would love for somebody to actually dive deep on that team. People have lost what a documentary actually is supposed to be. Like, if any of you watched the Murdoch documentary, they filmed that before the trial was over. It's like, how can you tell the story of this guy before you even know what happens to the guy?
And now he's back in the news.
Yeah, now he is back in the news. But, yeah, you can't do stuff like that. Lucas says Full Swing on Netflix is the best sports documentary thing they do. So good this season especially. It's quite good. Full Swing got Keegan Bradley the Ryder Cup captaincy, and that probably ended up not being the best thing in the world. Everybody just felt so bad for him for being rejected from a team he definitely should have made, that they made him the captain. That didn't work out, but... James says PGA players to watch this week: Scheffler, McIlroy, Young.
He's obviously listening to me when I said that earlier.
Exactly.
Like, clearly the guys I've got an eye on, kind of off the radar picks to keep an eye on this week. I could see all three of those guys being contenders.
Shane says you would think a team like... Oh, Shane's taking shots. Yeah. Never mind.
You got to read the tweets, the text, before you read the text. Once again.
Yeah, but I like our audience to have a voice, but he was taking shots.
Yeah.
Somebody says The Last Dance set the bar too high. You're probably right about that.
Good. Well, I mean, before The Last Dance, though, there was all the 30 for 30s, and those were really good. But those were done by people, I don't really like Bill Simmons because he's a Celtics fan, but the guy knows how to produce documentaries. The 30 for 30 stuff was fantastic. The Last Dance was fantastic. It's just the way it's got to be. If you're going to do a documentary, if you're going to style it a documentary, call it a documentary, it's got to be hey, we're going to look at everything. It can't just be, don't. Otherwise, call it public relations
or just a show.
Yeah, it's just a show. At that point, cast some actors to be Tebow and Harvin and go from there. Make it a mockumentary, like This Is Spinal Tap or something.
That's essentially what it was.
Yeah. I felt I was being mocked while I watched it.
Hour 1 in the books. We will talk a little bit more baseball in the next hour. And there's some football stuff that we got to get to today as well. So glad you guys are with us. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. We'll be back in just a bit.
Your number one for sports talk.
Anyone? Come on, don't be shy.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Bingo, man, bingo.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm Brian Hadad. He's Michael Borkey. We were at Ag Up yesterday, so we saw all these deals. We saw everything that was going on firsthand. And so when we tell you about these deals, we're not only reading the ads. We're really part of the team at Ag Up. And so that being said, we're trying to get you out there. We want you to buy a tractor. And if you're looking to buy one right now, you can get a great deal at Ag Up. 0% financing on all 1 through 4. Is this the... Hold, please. I got the wrong read. Regardless of that, it doesn't matter. I don't need the read. I need... What is that?
I put my hands up.
Oh, you're holding up. Yeah.
Yeah, you've never been to a golf tournament, so the people that volunteer when they need everybody to stand still and be quiet...
I don't need to stand still and be quiet.
Well, I'm telling everybody else to stand still while you get situated to hit your shot. Everybody still.
Whatever you're looking for from Ag Up, from John Deere, from the tractor community. 1 through 5 series, great deals available, 0% financing available for as long as 84 months. Again, it is May 13th, 2026, 0% financing until May 13th, 2033 if you buy today. Ag Up, your down-home dealer. Visit dealer for details.
That is a real number, a real year.
It's going to happen.
We will still be on the air.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
And Lane Kiffin will still be tweeting via his dog on X, the everything.
I really can't believe. This is how you know the man has zero self-awareness. You said we weren't going to talk about him. You lied.
You lied. I have an NFL thing that we can get to right now, but finish your take and then we'll go.
That he left the dog. Everybody knows he left the dog. And yet here he is. He's like, well, they don't like me, so maybe I need to do something with the dog again.
Can we get some proof of life of him down there in Baton Rouge?
I want a picture of Lane and the dog with today's newspaper. All right?
Good luck.
Don't you AI that thing. I'll know.
Good luck. Schedule a release date tomorrow in the NFL, and as we talked about briefly yesterday, they slow release special games, stuff like that. We now know the official international schedule and exactly where. We knew the Saints were going to Paris, but who they are playing.
That's right.
Week 1, though, the 49ers and the Rams are playing in Australia on September 10th.
Australia.
Which, okay. The Ravens and the Cowboys are playing in Brazil in Week 3. Sure.
Yes.
The Colts and the Commanders are playing in London in Week 4. The Eagles and the Jags are playing in London in Week 5. The Texans and the Jags are playing in London in Week 5. The Jags, by the way, playing in Orlando this year as their stadium gets a massive renovation. Orlando.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
What is it, Camping World Stadium?
Yeah,
whatever.
the old Citrus Bowl.
That's where they're playing. And then week 7, October 25th, Steelers Saints in Paris. The initial reporting was that was going to be the Cleveland Browns, but nope, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Saints in France.
Sacre bleu, Borkey.
Apparently, the locals in New Orleans are mad that the Steelers and they lost the Steelers.
Lost the Steelers. You thought that was going to be a game you got to have,
make a ton of money.
And that's because that's a game where visiting fans are coming, and there's going to be a lot of people in town. Yeah, I get it. But instead, that money, those dollars will become euros as they head to France, to Gay Paris.
Somebody's asking what time that Australia game is, by the way. 7:35 Central Time.
Okay. So we have to assume, let's do the math here. 7:35 here is like 9 in the morning, I bet.
So I guessed it right. So right now, presently, it's 7 o'clock in the morning in Australia.
So it's like 10 a.m.
So that
10:30 a.m.
That game will kick off at 10:30 in the morning, Australia time. Well, I guess depending on...
Based on what I know of Australia, that better be an indoor stadium.
If they're on the... So Australia has 4 time zones. One of them, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So that could be a noon
Where is the game
kickoff.
being played?
I don't know, honestly. I have
Sydney,
no idea.
right? Surely they're not playing... It's got to be in either Sydney or Melbourne.
So it's 7 in Sydney.
So
right
Sydney.
Now.
So Sydney is as far like west.
It's also
or east
7 in Melbourne.
Yeah, they're both on the east coast of Australia, which is that's where that game's going to be played. It's still super hot there.
Super hot, but early for them, but not for us. Of course, I mean, it's all...
Somebody reminded me that the Saints signed a Steiner. I'm going to find that thing and send it to you.
You got to.
I'm going to want you to play that. We have Jacob Rudner coming. I didn't say what was up on Sports Talk Mississippi, by the way. Brought to you by Ag Up. Jacob Rudner joins us in about 8 minutes to talk some baseball. Plus, Borkey will react live to Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner's Steiner Math promo.
Yeah. The rest of these international games, by the way, Bengals, Falcons in Spain, Patriots, Lions in Germany, and Vikings, Niners in Mexico. Good choice there. I'm on record. I don't like these. The Saints game will air at 8:30 in the morning on that Sunday, which I guess coffee and football is kind of fun, but I don't understand I don't understand the point of these. I think it takes away from your fans, the people that actually prop up your franchise, all the PR spin that they have about, this is great for our fan base. And no, it's not. It's great for your pockets. That's what it's great for.
It's not great for the fan base.
And I think... So 84 months, Ag Up, when your 0% financing is finally up. What year was that?
2033.
By 2033, there will be an NFL team in a country that is not the United States of America.
You're probably right. Guys, people are correct, by the way. I didn't think about it. Because it's in the southern hemisphere, that's spring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Their seasons
bad.
are flipped than us.
It won't be as bad. That'll be like late spring, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Or should that be winter? Should that be like early winter? Or no? I don't know. I don't know how it works.
But not the summer.
What season is it in Australia in September? It's the first month of spring.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Temperatures ranging from 72 to 53. Well, that sounds delightful.
Mm-hmm. London's getting a team. If you made me bet on a city, it's London. That's the one that's going to get it.
You know what would be interesting about that, though? Would a Premier League team be willing to share its stadium? Or would they require...
You know the answer to that question, if the price is right.
I mean, we say that. These clubs have billions of dollars. I just...
So do NFL teams.
Well, first off, there's only one team that could do it. It's Tottenham, right? The Emirates for Arsenal plays. That an NFL team could not play. It's not state of the art. It's a relatively new stadium, but it's not state of the art enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Chelsea Stadium is an old 38,000 seat stadium. Like it's not it's not no chance. So the only club that could do it is Tottenham. And then, I mean, it's called...
Give them a chance to actually put a trophy in the trophy case, though.
You know darn well an expansion NFL team ain't winning anything anytime soon. But it'd be interesting. Also, it's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is the name of the stadium. So, I don't know. It would be interesting if they were like, we'll take a team, but you've got to build a new stadium. And there is no, I guarantee in Europe and in England, there is no, hey, we're going to have a bond and the public's going to fund this stadium. That's not happening.
That's where it's going, though. And do you move a team or do you expand? Because expansion dilutes the product. The NBA is about to learn that.
So who are you going to move?
That's the question. The Jags are freshly renovating their stadium.
Yeah. Plus, the owner of the Jags owns a Premier League team, and that they can't, so they couldn't be in his stadium.
They're the prime candidate, though. They are the prime candidate to move out there.
Yeah.
I mean, would it be the Chargers? The second LA team? Or the Jets, the second New York team?
The Chargers have a long history in Southern California.
They do.
Yeah, I mean,
the Rams had a long history in St. Louis, and nobody cared.
They were the Los Angeles Rams before that, though. They have a much longer history in Southern Cal.
But if you expand, if you add a team, you have to add 3 more.
Yeah.
Or however many more to make the math work.
I don't know the answer. That's a good question.
But that's the reality of the situation we're in, fellas. They're also going to have a Super Bowl over there at some point in the future, too. Roger Goodell's already floated that out there.
Yeah.
I hate that, too, because that is the American sports event. It's the Super Bowl, and quite frankly, it's the Masters.
Yeah.
Those are like the premier American sporting events that exist the way they exist nowhere else in the world. And we're going to ship that off to London. Thanks, Goodell. Appreciate you. We'll get back to baseball when we come back. Jacob Rudner going to join us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Stick with us.
The Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Here we go.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. We go to the Farm Bureau guest line right now. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Jacob Rudner joins us yet again. Always appreciate his time and his insights, and we're going to get some more of those right now. Jacob, we started the show talking briefly, anyway. It's a run rule win against UT Martin, but Ole Miss beats UT Martin in the midweek. You've seen a lot of cancellations across the country with rather ridiculous reasons why, trying to preserve RPI. The NCAA sent a memo out to coaches saying if you cancel games, we might punish you. Are they actually going to follow through with that? Because it feels like this year we've had more of those than usual.
You know, I kind of doubt it that they're going to be able to do much about it, because here's the thing. Who is to say that a team that cancels for weather purposes had playable weather versus weather that was on the fringe of playable versus weather that wasn't playable at all? And I think that the committee putting itself in a position to have to pick and choose what's real and what's not is unrealistic. That being said, I do think that the memo is useful. I think that that's probably a good thing to have out there to scare teams off from doing that and potentially being able to open the conversation again later on after the season is over for how that needs to be handled. But right now, it seems very improbable to me that the committee is going to be able to impart some sort of system that allows it to punish some teams and not others, because some cancellations were legitimate and others were not. It's too subjective to me, and I just doubt that they actually do that.
We went through your regional projections yesterday, and you guys had Ole Miss on the outside looking in. Is it as simple as we think it is? If they go to Tuscaloosa and win that series, they will be on the right side of the hosting bubble?
Yeah, I would tend to think so, and that would be the last boost that's needed. One thing that is interesting this year is how the committee is going to handle the Big 12. It has less to do with Ole Miss than it has to do with the rest of the country. Kansas had a very clear path to being above the hosting line for the first time ever. and then they get swept at home by West Virginia. And the reason that makes things so complicated is because West Virginia's RPI is not necessarily in a position that translates to automatic hosts. They're 18th, or they were 18th, last I looked a couple hours ago. And last year we saw TCU get to the exact same point with, I think, one fewer win in conference play, 19 wins, and they did not host. So I think the committee will have to make a decision if it wants the Big 12 to be represented. How far is it willing to go? Is West Virginia's win total enough to potentially get it over the hump? I tend to think so, which would be a bummer for somebody. And we picked that to be Ole Miss, just with the RPI the way that it is and the overall conference record. Now, obviously that picture changes if you go and you beat Alabama in the final weekend of the regular season, and it can change further based on what happens in the SEC tournament. Right this second, though, we think the committee will give some respect towards the Big 12.
Jacob, it feels like the team in Mississippi that has the most locked-in postseason is going to be in Hattiesburg with Southern Miss. You have them as the 10 seed currently. By the way, you did not listen to Coach Ostrander's advice. No SEC team in your bracket. It's going to happen, Jacob. But that said, how close are the Golden Eagles to getting to the left side of the bracket and being a national seed?
I think that it would be a little bit challenging. And the only reason I say that is because I don't think that what Coastal has done recently, being a series loss to Old Dominion at home, I don't think that does a lot of favors for the Sun Belt and where that it's going to net out in the projections. The opportunities to secure huge wins in the conference tournament would become more muted for a team like Southern Miss. Do I think that there's still a chance that it could get to the left side of the bracket? Maybe. And its RPI is definitely in the range to be in the conversation. But I think just with the strength of the SEC and ACC this year, it's going to be a pretty difficult one to crack. There are a lot of teams right now that have resumes that I would consider as good, if not slightly better. And those teams do come from the power conferences where they have played harder schedules. I think that they'll lean in that direction. As for the SEC 2 seed, I do think that it's important to note this year that we could see a little bit of a difference in how the committee places teams. Seeding on the 2 line is more important now. There are pods of teams that will go to certain regionals based on where the committee seeds them out. Does an SEC team seed into the to get to Southern Miss? Maybe, possibly, maybe even probably. But this year there is a little extra layer of confusion on how they're going to place teams because of this new seeding wrinkle that they implemented this offseason.
You've got Mississippi State as the 13 seed. Right now, paired up with the Athens regional, a Bulldog versus Bulldog super regional. If chalk were to hold there, let's look at State's weekend with Texas A&M. Is it get swept, don't host, win 1, host, win 2 or more, maybe host a super regional?
Yeah, this is going to be one of those weekends where the answer to that question will kind of evolve as the weekend goes on, because it will depend on what other teams are doing. At 15-12 in the SEC, 11th in RPI, 9-1 in quad 1 games, I feel pretty good that Mississippi State has done enough to already be a secure post projection. It helps that this weekend is on the road in College Station as well. Road series are a little bit more favorable in terms of the outcomes. You can go and lose a series in College Station and still be in a really good spot. Can you get swept and still be in a really good spot? I don't think so. I do think that would be something that makes the committee put Mississippi State back towards the edge of that bubble, just because they would be a 500 regular season SEC team. That's not a secure hosting profile number. But at 16 wins with that kind of RPI, I would feel pretty good. So I would say 1 and 2 is the safe minimum. 0 and 3, there's still a conversation.
When we look around the other brackets, I think that the interesting one also is Alabama and Florida. These are 2 teams that, a couple of weeks ago you could have made a case they were going to be a low seed or maybe not even host at all. They've had a really strong finish to the season, and now they're both on the it's fun to say the right side of the bracket when you mean the left side, because we're talking about 1 through 8. Are those 2 teams, though, that if Florida's at LSU this weekend, I don't think they'll get into much trouble, but they could. Alabama, we already mentioned with Ole Miss. Are those 2 teams in trouble or in danger of possibly dropping back down into the 9 through 16 range?
Yeah, I think Florida would be most in danger of that, just because of who it's playing and the RPI implications of that. If Florida loses the series and is 15-15, is 16-14 if they go and win a game to close out the regular season, that's a probable host to me. It's not necessarily a top 8 national seed because the RPI right now is 12. It's a little bit too low. The strength of schedule at 2 could be something that saves Florida in that regard, but I do think you have to go win this weekend because of the way that LSU has played this season if you're Florida. For Alabama, the situation's a little bit cleaner. At 6 in RPI and 16-11 going into the weekend in conference play, I would feel really good if I'm an Alabama fan about getting into that top 8 picture. 16 wins is typically a pretty safe mark for excellent seeding if you're an SEC team. Bama already being there with an opportunity to increase that total is a very favorable situation.
I want to go back to Hattiesburg real quick. Do you think that Coastal's going to slip up this weekend and the Golden Eagles, Southern Miss, can end up being the Sun Belt champion?
It's certainly possible. We talked last week and you said, do you think that Coastal Carolina is going to drop 2 or 3 at home to Old Dominion? I probably would have chuckled. Yeah. But, anything, it goes to show you this. Anything is possible. And with the way that Coastal just played and the fact that it's on the road at Louisiana, which is a team that has kind of been, on the periphery of the tournament conversation. At times it's been in the tournament projections for us at Baseball America. That's a tougher weekend than the one you just lost. So can Coastal slip up? Yes, because they just did against a much weaker opponent. Will they? Hard to say. I think that there's always a chance. And so if you're Southern Miss, you're probably feeling pretty good just with who has what kind of momentum right now.
Couple minutes left, Jacob. We got a question here on the C Spire text line. He wants you to explain Southern Cal. You have them as the 11 seed in your bracket. 0-8 quad 1, 3 quad 3, quad 4 losses total. Why are the Trojans so highly rated?
Yeah, USC right now probably has one of the more complicated cases in the postseason, and you just mentioned it. That RPI record plus quad 1 mark is not a typical combination. 8th in RPI at 19-8 in the Big Ten, 0-8, as you said, in quad 1 games. We decided to put them where we did in the hosting picture because we think that the committee is going to very much value that RPI. If it doesn't, it would be going back upon its trends over the last several years. RPI has taken precedent, especially on the host line. It gets a little bit more murky on the bubble at the back of the picture because that's kind of where the committee has historically kind of picked and choose where it goes to, implement the RPI argument. In the hosting conversation, it's much more secure. And so with that kind of RPI plus a winnable weekend to close out the season at Oregon, which would be, a very loud end to the regular season, that would fulfill the quad 1 wins, would get them on the board if they can go and win that series. The projection in us felt as though that was a potentially likely outcome. And if they go and get a series win in Eugene, plus that RPI, plus the fact that they'd have some quad 1 wins, it's kind of a tough one to argue against. Even though, just personally speaking, I don't know if I was on the committee, I would vote to have that team in the top 16 because of all the factors I just said. But as somebody who has to project upon what the tournament might look like because of how the committee decides things, we think that USC is in a good spot.
Jacob, as always, great stuff, man. This is the time of year you live for. We'll be definitely talking to you again soon.
Looking forward to it, guys. Thank you.
Jacob Rudner, Baseball America. He joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. He said it. He confirmed what we've been saying here on Sports Talk Mississippi. Southern Miss, you're in good shape. Mississippi State, you're in pretty good shape. Ole Miss, it's going to be a challenge with Alabama, but the chance is there for the Rebels to make it.
Your destiny is in your hands.
You will fulfill your destiny.
We'll be back in just a bit.
Yes.
From the Sports Talk Mississippi.
Hey, it's go time.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Well, say something.
Super Talk Mississippi.
All right. Don't normally have a lot of pro wrestling content here on the show. However, we just want to we're doing a live reaction here. Are you ready to roll with this?
I'm ready to roll with this.
All right. So the Saints, I don't even know what this guy's name is, by the way.
We got to learn it.
It's Rex Steiner.
He's going to be an impact guy.
Brock Rex Steiner, who is the son, if you're a fan of pro wrestling, he is the son of Scott Steiner, the Big Bad Booty Daddy. He is the nephew. Big Bad Booty Daddy. We've already had this discussion.
I just want to make sure that I'm hearing it correctly. I'm still not convinced it's a real thing.
The nephew of the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner, and the cousin of current WWE superstar Braun Breaker, who was Braun Steiner for a long time, and then they changed his name for whatever reason.
Why? You got the family name.
You're preaching to the choir right this second. That is what's happening right now.
It's like Tom Brady's kid changed his last name to Jones.
Exactly. You're not wrong. So one of Scott Steiner's most famous moments in the history of his career is this promo, known affectionately as the Steiner Math promo. We will hear it now and get his live reaction.
All men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. You know,
Sometimes I start sentences and hope to find what I'm trying to say along the way or whatever.
Oh, my gosh. That is an all-time classic. So that's that guy's dad. The genetic freak, Scott Steiner.
Chances of winning drastically go
right
down.
Now he's good.
See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning.
Yes, checks out.
I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning.
Checks out.
Kurt Angle knows.
But there's
he
two
can't
guys,
beat me,
so
and he's not even going to try.
He's not even going to try.
Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance.
Where'd 25
you
go
got
from?
an 8 and a third chance of winning
8 and a
at
third?
sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice.
At sacrifice.
Is that what the match was called?
That was the pay-per-view that they were doing there. So Borkey got a 33 and a third chance of not enjoying this. You were wrong. Borkey enjoyed it.
That's great. I want to keep listening to it.
Oh, my God.
I hope that populates my algorithm for a while. I want more of whatever that was.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, please tell Porky to look up some other Steiner promos tonight, especially from his WCW days. The fact they let him go out into the ring and with a live mic and talk was insane. Also,
that guy could not have passed basket weaving at Ole Miss. There's no way that he could have gotten
do you want to know where
class.
he went to college?
Yale.
Michigan. He's a big... So
that says a lot.
Let me tell you something. So now, on top of being a pro wrestler, he owned a Shoney's outside of Atlanta. And there was like a big sign that said Shoney's next exit, and it had his picture from wrestling on there. I've eaten at that Shoney's.
Yeah?
And his brother was in there, the other wrestler, Rick. And we got a picture with it. It was me, Brandon Walker, and Logan Lowry. We were going to the MSU Georgia game, and we made a little pilgrimage out there to see this. And we were like, and Rick told us, like, oh, you just missed Scott. He was here an hour ago. We were like, no. And then
I feel like he wasn't, and they're like the staff is trained to tell the people that make the trip.
He had a whole room in the Shoney's with all his memorabilia in it that you could go in there and see. Also, famously, there was like a car wreck or something next to his Shoney's. And they interviewed him, and they just put Scott Steiner, business owner. And like the comments are all like, "Do you know who you talked to?"
They talked to the business owner.
They talked to the big bad booty daddy.
Yeah, they talked to
Big Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
He's a business owner, just like Lane Kiffin is a civil rights advocate.
Exactly.
I mean, gosh, that was so funny. Do you think obviously they rehearsed those in a way, in the mirror when he was saying that to himself. When he was done, was he nailed it?
He's nailed it. Yes.
Or after that promo, did he walk away thinking, yeah?
Well, I mean, it's iconic. How many views does that thing have on YouTube? 20 million? I don't know.
This particular one has 14,000 likes.
14,000 likes. Never mind views.
Yeah, man, and this is a short too. That's not even the.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's the good stuff. Yes, Rick is now a realtor. That is correct, yeah. Is that the Shoney's bar that Hadad had a picture of on Twitter? Yes. Yeah. So I remember he tweeted out one time when Michigan was playing in the, I think the Orange Bowl. He's like, hey, Michigan fans, we're having a big party at Shoney's. Come by. We'll have drinks, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wait a minute. What Shoney's has drinks? He's got a Shoney's with a full bar. I didn't know that was such a thing. I thought Shoney's was just a place you went and got the breakfast buffet, you got the hot fudge cake, and that was it. Nope. You get tanked at Shoney's and outside of Cartersville.
I almost walked into a gas station casino in Avondale, Louisiana once.
Well, that's every gas station. They've got some video poker.
No, but it was like advertising for a casino that was attached to a gas station in Avondale. I just wanted to see.
Okay. And?
I had a tiny human with me, so
yeah, you gotta be careful.
But I really wanted to pull up and be like, I just want to see who's in here right now. Think they have a blackjack table in the gas station casino in Avondale, Louisiana?
Why not?
There's a 0% chance you win ever in the gas station casino in Avondale, Louisiana.
I would never gamble. I would do video poker, but like a table game, we're not doing that at the gas station casino. No. We're going to go to the real casino for that. You got like a 25% chance of winning at the gas station casino. But then you take the house's 125% chance of winning. You got a negative 150 chance of losing. At sacrifice.
I saw a video, by the way, of a guy. He won some blackjack hands, and the pit boss came up and said, like, you're done at this table. You don't have to leave the casino, but right now you're done playing blackjack. So they didn't accuse him of counting cards and kicking him out of the casino. He had just won too much, and he said, you can't play blackjack right now. You can do anything else in here, just no more blackjack. Thought that was a little odd.
It's weird.
Like,
how
that seems
the casino
illegal.
does have the power to do that. And it is weird that they can do that. Like,
you just walk up. No,
like it's one thing if you're cheating, and even another thing entirely if you're counting cards, which isn't technically cheating. It does give you an advantage, but it's not cheating. But the fact that they can just be like, "Yeah, you've won enough."
Yeah, that's it.
Most of the time, they're a little nicer about it. Most of the time, they're like, "Hey, you've had a great night. How about we give you a comp meal at so and so, and they get you off the table and go get something to eat. Let it cool down." So, not in this case, though. I guess.
I mean, I guess like you've got the unlimited appetizers thing going on at Buffalo Wild Wings. We are going to put that to the test on Saturday. We are going to find out how unlimited the unlimited apps are.
Sound like Leonidas. We'll put their name to the test.
You tell me unlimited, brother. I got all
James,
day.
Prepare for glory.
I mean, they've got cheese sticks. That's all we need, and we're just going to keep going until you tell me to stop.
You get up to 4 people on that. I have no idea how they're making money on this deal.
So I actually saw a breakdown of that. The apps are so cheap that they don't lose money, and everybody has an overinflated sense of how much they can actually eat anyway.
Right.
And so they don't eat as much as you'd think, and they're extremely cheap, and they buy beer and alcohol and stuff like that.
You say that, but then I also saw the story of the high school kids that went in there, did nothing but eat apps. Their tab was $10. They said they were in there for 3 hours. Their tab was $10.25. They tipped $1 and left.
Okay, those kids. Mom and dad failed those kids.
Yes, but I mean, their tab was $10,
and they only tipped 10% anyway.
Yeah,
but if you're asking a poor waiter or waitress to deal with you for 3 hours on a $10 tab,
I don't disagree with
$10.
you. I don't disagree with you. But if I was a high school kid, I'm pretty sure we're just leaving $1 and we're just walking away.
Somebody says I just did it Saturday in Hattiesburg. Going to put it to the test. I can't wait.
Unlimited pasta at Olive Garden cut me and a guy off in Tupelo after 2 plates. Unlimited IHOP pancakes cut us off at 43. 43?
They're small, though. 2 plates is egregious.
2 plates is egregious. I would have.
That's unacceptable.
Would have asked for my money back.
False advertising.
Yeah, you've been hoodwinked.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Most of the time,
we got a 33% chance of coming back. at sacrifice.
In the Venable.
It's time for more Sports Talk Mississippi.
Finally.
On Super Talk Mississippi, the Super Talk app, and at supertalk.fm.
You're a cat guy. You've got cats.
I got cats. I got 5 cats.
There's one that keeps showing up on my porch. I just got the doorbell cam notification. There's a cat on your porch. Blink is trying this new AI thing where it tells you exactly what's happening. I don't like it.
Right.
But it did tell me that this cat is on my porch again. And that cat hangs out on my porch all the time. But when I try to go pet it, hey, Dad, takes off. I want to be friends with this cat. How do I make that happen? I don't want to feed it because it's not my cat, and it doesn't look like it needs food.
No, well, all cats they'll eat.
I know, but I don't want to also have a neighbor think that I'm trying to steal their cat from them.
Well, I mean,
but he takes off before he even knows or would know that it's me feeding him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want him to he sees me not to take off.
You get one of those push treats, and you got to be like, "Here, kitty." And he'll come over eventually, and then you've got a friend.
Okay. Because I'm the type of person in the neighborhood, I want to know everybody's dog, mostly, or cat, mostly because if they get out, I want to be able to know exactly where the animal lives without having to call animal control. Mm-hmm. Now, where I live, animal control brings them to a no-kill shelter, so that's not the worst place for them to go.
Yeah.
But still, I would like to be able to, Jerry's dog got out. Let me go walk it down to Jerry's house and give him his dog back.
Right.
Cats are a different story, though.
Yeah, you got to. They don't.
If I see Jerry's cat, Jerry's cat's mean to me.
Yeah, they don't cotton much to strangers.
No.
So
I don't like that. I've got squirrels in the neighborhood nicer to me than this cat is.
Well, that's how cats are. They got to get to know you. It's a process. That's why they're smart. They don't just blindly trust strangers. If all of our kids were like cats, there would be no kidnapping.
That is true.
If our kids were like, they see a stranger, they're like, get away from me.
I was hoping for better advice than what you gave me.
I just told you.
But what if he doesn't see me holding the thing?
Well, you gotta whistle and get his attention. Yeah. Get close to him; he'll smell it. Cats have enhanced olfactory senses.
Chris says cats are friends to no men.
That's
I have
true.
befriended cats in the past.
My friend Baloo is my best buddy.
There is. So I'm a dog guy. Love dogs. I'll always have dogs. I want multiple dogs.
I like dogs too. They're great.
There is something about having an outdoor cat, though. Like one of the rough around the edges one that's got some scars on his face. He's been through some stuff, and you get him from the shelter, and he won't come inside. But you build a little house for it. He tolerates you. Watching that cat go hunt is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome to watch it. The little cats are just big cats, but smaller, man. The stalking and all that stuff is pretty sweet. I love watching a cat go to work like that. But then they'll stare you in the eyes and knock something expensive off your counter.
They will. You can't put stuff on the counter if you got cats. Got to be careful with that. Yeah, there you go. Get some catnip.
Does that actually work?
Oh, yeah. It depends. Some cats, it has really no effect on, but the ones that like it, they really like it.
Sounds like something else.
It's cat marijuana.
Man.
Girl cats hunt better than boy cats. The apex predator in the Hadad household is indeed Peppermint. She's gotten 2 birds, a mouse, and a snake.
So Marty says, just get a tiger like Mike Tyson. What
could do that.
do tigers dream of?
And they take a little tiger. We can't sing the whole song, though.
Modern movie comedies are awful. Not that one.
Oh, that's like one of the last comedies. They don't make comedies anymore.
Not like that.
Yeah. Well, they don't make them at all. When's the last time there was a comedy movie?
They tried one. Mark Wahlberg tried one on Netflix, right?
That's not. I'm talking about a movie.
They're calling it. Yeah.
I'm talking about a movie. Like you go to the movies to watch it. I'm not talking about a streaming service.
You know, I think it was Mark Norman, stand-up comedian from Louisiana. I think it was him that had the theory that you can't make those anymore because Marvel started trying to be funny, and they've got $500 million budgets, and your comedy movie has a $5 million budget, and
plus, it's 2026. There's no jokes anymore.
Well,
no one's allowed to joke.
There was on the roast of Kevin Hart the other night.
Yeah, I guess.
Ooh, boy.
Some of those jokes are great from the comedians, but then when you're just watching Draymond Green read somebody else's jokes, like, it's not as good.
Yeah, Brady his delivery was actually pretty good, but you could tell that wasn't coming from him. But, whew.
Yeah, it's a roast. What did you expect?
Oh, I mean, I like that dark comedy stuff, but man.
Yeah, be careful.
College football playoff. A stakeholder is sending a message. Do not expand. Who is it? We will tell you about it for the College Football Fix after the news.
Talk Mississippi.
Your all-access pass to all things sports in Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
On the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Borkey and Hadad with you, hour number 3, Sports Talk of Mississippi. I saw a video of a recent Motley Crue performance.
Oh, no.
Vince Neil.
Hold on, I'll sing the song for you.
So
it's rough.
He's lip syncing, but he's not even trying. He's not even saying half the words.
At least he's lip syncing now. He used to just be like doing what I was just doing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, it was really bad.
Just hang it up, boys. Just hang it up. You had a good run.
Yeah.
Your activities have caught up to you. Be done with it. What we're never going to be done with is right at this time every single day.
Excluding Saturdays and Sundays, it's the College Football Fix. The College Football Fix is brought to you by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. The best-selling truck in America that's the Ford F-150. Are you looking for a new truck? Well, friends, look no further than your local Mississippi Ford dealers. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
In ACC country, you have spring meetings going on. Those in the SEC will happen in Destin. That will have some newsworthy things that'll come out of that. But since the ACC doesn't actively have a coach that is trying to light everything on fire, they get to talk about, more productive things than whatever the hell Lane Kiffin's been trying to do lately.
Don't talk like that.
Huh?
Don't think I'm at LLK. Calm down. LLK?
Oh.
Just saying.
Yeah, civil rights activist Lane Kiffin is not at ACC Media Days.
I thought something really funny. I'm not 100% sure I should say it, but it's really funny.
If you're not 100%, best to err on the side of caution.
I will tell you what it is in the next commercial break, and you can be the official judge.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Daenerys Targaryen is not at ACC spring meetings, and so
You know, if Lane Kiffin had been Daenerys Targaryen, he would have left Drogon in Dragonstone.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
And pretended like he never existed at all.
Never had a dragon.
He's been with me the whole time.
Yeah.
But no, so ACC spring meetings. And they came out of those meetings with a unanimous coaches, everything. Although the commissioner of the ACC, Jim Phillips, said it was unanimous. Mario Cristobal came out later and was like, I don't like this at all. This is awful. Let's not do this, everybody. So unanimous, I guess the denotation of unanimous varies based on the person that is saying it. But the league is pushing for a 2014 playoff. Friend of the program, Ben Portnoy, did a breakdown of this from a financial perspective first. So he said conference title games will likely be eliminated as part of a 24-team or even a 16-team playoff possibly. The Power Four nets around $200 million combined on the conference championship games. The SEC $100 million, Big Ten $50, Big 12 and ACC $25 for those championships. Those are rough estimates, but for the sake of round numbers, about $200 million goes away. Mm-hmm. If the 8 games added in a 2014 playoff are worth somewhere between $400 and $500 million, which apparently is an optimistic estimation, there's really only about $200 to $300 million of new money coming in for doubling the field. And you also, again, you have to compensate the Power Four for eliminating those conference title games. Spread that across the leagues. And is the money really there to justify the decision?
If you're going to get $400 million for being on the playoff, but I only get $200 million, that's only $200 million. That's sacrifice. Sorry, we're still stuck on that? Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's kind of like the SEC's deal, right? Right now, where they went to another game, but they didn't really get any more money out of it, and all they did was give everybody more losses. I was looking at that today with State. State would be, I would feel like they could get to 7-5 if they had another non-conference game. But as it is, I don't.
Yeah. So if it wasn't,
well, it wouldn't be either.
No, but if it wasn't,
you would basically be taking Alabama off the schedule to play
Alabama
to play Bowling Green or something like that.
Yeah. Well, wait, who got eliminated? Was it Troy that got cut from the schedule?
Yes, Troy.
That's who you'd be playing.
Yeah. So
imagine what the State fan outlook of this season.
It'd
truly
be different. It'd be different.
Change one game.
Yeah. But, so with this ACC thing, though, it's interesting because I think you're about to say, like, there's a shareholder. That's the way you described it.
The shareholder.
Yeah.
In the college football playoff, Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC, who just said that they're unanimous in wanting 24, says that ESPN officials have been, quote, pretty clear, end quote, that they want the playoff to remain at 12, and if it does expand, not beyond 16. So ESPN, who owns the exclusive rights to the playoff, is saying, no, we don't want you to expand. Now, you out there might, if you listen to us every day, you know that you should be skeptical of things like this. Because hold on, wait a second. Wait. Why would ESPN tell them no for more inventory? Because the answer is not to preserve the regular season. We just told you that there is more money to be made. Maybe not much, but there is more money to be made. So why would ESPN tell them no? Here's why. Because ESPN would not own the exclusive rights to a playoff that expands beyond 14 teams. Those extra games would hit the open market. And there's no way that they will be able to afford what will be offered for those games. That is why ESPN is telling them no. They don't want Fox to enter into the fold. They don't want Netflix or CBS or Prime or whoever would bid on those games. And it would be everybody that broadcasts games on streaming or otherwise would want to bid on the college football playoff. They don't want competition entering their market. That's why they're advocating against expansion.
Well, now I know. And knowing is half the battle.
Do you think that changes things, though? Do you think that ESPN saying, because here's the problem, too. The Big Ten has no relationship with ESPN.
Right.
The Big Ten would be well served to not let ESPN get what they want, but the Big Ten cannot expand without the SEC saying yes.
Yeah.
Are we just going to be deadlocked here for a while?
I think ESPN coming out and saying that, regardless of their motivation, has to temper that discussion a little bit, doesn't it? You know, it's like when you were a kid and you look in the Sears catalog as a kid. You got to be a certain age to get these references, and you're like, oh, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this, and you show this to you've already planned it out in your head. You know what your room's going to look like. Oh, my friends are going to be so jealous, and blah blah blah. They show it to your mom and dad, and they're like, no, we can't get that. That's what we got here. And mom and dad usually won. So,
but it was East Bay for me.
Oh, there you go.
Is what that was the catalog where you'd circle everything.
You were a clothes and shoes guy there. You were getting I got you.
I do remember Sears, but that's
old school right there.
Yeah.
Let's hear. We'll put that on the list for Carlo to not know about.
Bubba says that's exactly why they should go to 16. Honestly, I don't know how much sway ESPN's vote would be to the SEC. Because as we mentioned frequently, the SEC's got an issue on their hands too. They made their schedules more difficult. They need to expand, or else the Big Ten's going to keep getting more and more teams in.
Yeah.
Look at Indiana's schedule this year. Guys, let me tell you, if they're good, they're making the playoff. If they're good, they're going to go back. Schedule's easier than what State and Ole Miss are dealing with. Objectively so. That's not opinion. That's objective fact. So the SEC kind of has to. Or else you're going to have a 12-team playoff with 5 Big Ten teams and 3 SEC teams.
Nobody wants that.
I can tell you who won't appreciate that is the coaches and the stakeholders in the SEC. So it's a fascinating deal. ESPN inserting themselves in this is fascinating. Is this the first time that the television partner doesn't have the say?
Could be.
601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. Why does ESPN have leverage here? They may not. Big Ten doesn't care. And the SEC can't, as we said. They can't stay at 12. They screwed up. Fascinating. We'll be right back at the Pearl River Resort Studio.
In Mississippi sports,
you'll hear about it first, right here.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the games. And you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
If you wanna go.
Have you seen this offering for the World Cup?
Yes.
If you're
not a soccer fan, this is going to convert you.
You still might buy this, even if you're not a
fan of the beautiful game.
Into soccer. Yeah. It is being offered for the World Cup by Miller Lite, and it is a gigantic soccer ball, and I mean it's big too, bigger than a regulation soccer ball. It's big. Think like essentially 2 times the size, almost like a beach ball size. And it's got slots in it that fit perfectly a can of beer. Mm-hmm. And it can fit a 12-pack in this soccer ball that I believe will internally keep, it's like a cooler, but you don't have to open a lid or anything. You just, you stick the beers into the soccer ball, and you can set it on a table or at a party or whatever, and it's there. We need this, a football version of this.
Yeah, but you can only get like 3 beers.
No, but like a helmet or something.
Oh, a helmet, okay.
Yeah.
Well, helmet coolers exist, I think.
Not like this.
I don't know about like this, yeah.
Where it's just slotted right in there nicely.
This is the first affordable thing I've seen associated with the World Cup, by the way.
Yeah, it's like $20.
So it's only $20. It's a great deal.
They will sell out almost immediately.
Oh, soon, wherever they are, yeah, they will be done.
By the way, I mentioned magazines earlier, so mine was East Bay. Do you remember, I know you do, how awesome magazines were?
Oh, yeah.
I like that so much better than the way you have to shop for stuff now.
You're talking about from a shopping perspective.
Or anything, really. Consuming content,
well, yeah,
whatever.
like I used to, as a kid, or not a kid, as a teenager, Sports Illustrated showing up every week was like the highlight of the week. When you got into late July and early August, you'd start looking for Lindy's and Athlons so you could catch up on everything in the SEC. Shopping, yeah, you're right. Like, you know what? Here's a magazine I haven't bought since I was probably like 15, but I used to buy it all the time. You remember Beckett's?
I don't.
Beckett's was a baseball card magazine, and so they would list prices for baseball cards. So I would keep an eye on how much that Ruben Sierra rated rookie I had that was going to fund my college was. It's probably worth like a buck now.
Somebody mentions Eurosport. Yes, I remember Eurosport. That was a great one.
And then you had if you wanted to buy clothes like Land's End and
Eddie Bauer.
Eddie Bauer, that's a good one. Yeah, Duckhead, stuff like that. You had you shop via magazine. Columbia House, gosh, they like the interest on what I owe them is probably at least $5 million by now. How many fake accounts did I come up with to send them a penny so I can get 12 CDs?
Man, and I know they still exist to some degree. I need to start getting magazines again. I miss
really
reading Sports Illustrated. That was so awesome. And I mean, I guess TikTok has just ruined all of our brains, I guess, but there is no better sports platform out there. And they covered everything, man. It wasn't just a football magazine. They covered football, but it was the hockey playoffs or the hockey season. You got to read about that and feature stories about elite high school athletes. It was everything. It created smarter sports fans. And now we have TikTok.
Yeah. Well, this is what it is.
Somebody mentioned Motor Trend was one that they spent a long time looking at.
I remember Motor Trend for sure.
Garden and Gun, that's another one.
That's funny. Old Beckett magazines are actually worth some money. The magazines that told you how much your baseball cards are worth are now worth money.
Was it how did they set the price? I'm curious about that.
It was just it was kind of like reading the stock market pages for 13-year-old boys. Like it was just like, here's the 1990 Topps set. Here's every card. Here's what it's worth today. If you had a Don Mattingly or a Darryl Strawberry or a Will Clark, it was worth a little bit more. And then they had the highly rated rookie. If you got a Griffey Jr., something like that, and you went from there. I remember the Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. Everybody wanted it. I wonder what that's worth. I don't even know what that's worth now. It got me curious. What's a 1990 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. value? If you can get a mint condition one, it's $250.
Wow,
that was what it was worth then. I thought it'd be worth a lot more now. Crazy.
I've got boxes full of old Sports Illustrated, boxes of them, like 10 boxes full. And I've been thinking about going through them and trying to find some of the big ones and sell them off. Mm-hmm. Just seems like a lot of effort. And do people want those anymore?
Probably not. So another thing with
10 years
kids,
ago probably would have been great.
You have a son. Like, would he ever read highlights? Do you remember highlights?
I do remember highlights because you go to the doctor's office
and they had highlights, yeah. And then did you ever read like Boy's Life?
That must have been before my time.
Yeah, Boy's Life was a magazine for like 12 to 14-year-old boys where they would teach you. They have like an interview with an athlete or somebody, and they would have like I think it was more for Boy Scouts, but I got it even though I wasn't a Boy Scout. And it would tell you like, hey, if you're ever fishing, you can do this, and there's some cool stuff in there.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Where do you even go for stuff like that? I mean, I guess you got to find like
you go online. You watch a YouTube video.
The Outdoor Boys.
Yeah, you watch a YouTube video. Oh, Maxim. Now we're getting into like college days. Maxim.
All right, guys, easy now.
What was the other? What was the other
family
one?
program?
What was the other one though?
I'm not gonna.
No, Maxim wasn't that kind of magazine.
It wasn't.
It had pictures of women in them, but they were fully clothed. Not fully clothed, but they were clothed. It wasn't a pornographic magazine.
You read it for the articles.
Well, here's the thing about Maxim is like they actually had like cool stuff in there. Like you could learn about sports, and they had car stuff and music and everything else. I will tell you this: Maxim came up with something called the All Madkin team. It was a college football team of players that had been around for so long. You were like, is that guy still there? And it was named after former Mississippi State quarterback Wayne Madkin. It was the All Madkin team.
Wow.
So that was a thing at Maxim for years.
Amy still gets Golf Digest. Man, Golf Digest was great too.
Yeah.
Gosh, it was great. Although, if you read Golf Digest every edition, there was a lot of contradictory like help tips in there. Because as you can imagine, Hadad, not every golf thing is right for every golfer. A lot of things people can do with their swing or their height or whatever. But if you just read the tips, you would do one thing out of a bunker, and then 2 months later, it's like, here, do the opposite, actually, and this will improve your game. It's like,
well, they kept you coming for more. You know?
Yeah, snip, snap here.
Yeah.
You destroy it, and then you build it back up.
Also, and this magazine is still around, but like, if you're into music, you read Rolling Stone, and then for like teenage girls, you had, Tiger Beat and all those where they would get the pictures out and put them on the wall, stuff like that. And we haven't even mentioned the magazines that young Brian Hadad bought the most of. The pro wrestling magazines, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Inside Wrestling.
Oh, man, I got paintball ones. We had a paintball phase when we were like 14. Oh, man.
These magazines wrote articles about wrestling that were completely made up.
What do you mean made up?
Like, they would have we talked to so-and-so after the match and have quotes. And, none of it, now that I know what wrestling is, back then I thought it was real. But now that I know what it is, these were fictional stories. He would talk about, oh, I hate Hulk Hogan so much. When I get him in the ring, none of this actually happened. They would rank the wrestlers I had no idea at the time. But this guy's name was Bill Apter. He created a whole industry of wrestling magazines of stuff that was just made up. He would have quotes that weren't real, or maybe they were real, but they weren't real.
Yeah.
And so it was something. After school, walk down to the service station, get an icy, and if the new Pro Wrestling Illustrated was in, that was a good day for Brian Hadad at age 12.
Man, and then these college football preview magazines, those are still kicking.
Oh, yeah. They're still out there. But, man, I used to live for the day that I would first see a Lindy's.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And then as I got a little older, by the way, a magazine I don't buy anymore because you can just get it all online is Fantasy Football Index.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was the best one. Fantasy Football Index was the best one because it had the 24/7 composite rankings, basically, of everybody else's rankings. And so you knew who to draft. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a fantasy football mag, though, because it's just all online. That was a fun trip down memory lane. Good call, Borkey.
Mad Magazine.
Oh, Mad Magazine and Cracked. Oh, man.
See, that was a little before my time, but I remember Mad TV.
Spy versus Spy and Mad Magazine. Those were good times.
Sports Talk. Magazine Talk, Mississippi. We'll be back in just a bit.
Just where our lives are going to.
From the C Group.
SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Got any other nostalgia you want to go through right now?
I did get a text from a friend during a break and was like, why aren't you guys talking about Kiffin today?
I mean, I'm more than happy to.
No, I mean...
You know me.
I'll say here what I said to him. I mean, we spent 2 days on it.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to tell you the thing I meant to say, too. Dang it.
Nothing happened today.
Just text you.
Yeah. Nothing happened today that's new, that can really add. Other than, I think Ole Miss's strategy to basically not respond this time was the correct decision.
Agreed. There have been a couple of little pokes and stuff. Read what I sent you, by the way.
Yeah, Keith Carter tweeted, I guess a lot of people paying attention to success or whatever.
All right.
Oh, my gosh. But...
God, I want to say it so bad. I may throw that on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, that's a
little more podcasty.
But no, it's clear that when the 3 different articles this week came out, Ole Miss made a concerted effort not to say anything. Pete Golding hasn't said anything. Keith Carter hasn't said anything really. He hasn't addressed Lane specifically. There were a lot of people, fans of Ole Miss, that kind of wanted them to fight back. Good call not fighting back.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake.
Right. And on top of that, this is very petty stuff from Kiffin. The only way to respond is with more pettiness. There is no classy response to this. There is no take the high road with this. There's either let it die down or we're going to fire back.
And firing back brings you to his level, and he is an expert at his level.
Yeah. I'm here for Kiffin talk, says Marty. Just make something up like the wrestling magazines. Today, Lane Kiffin said... What happened with Kiffin? You need to go back and find the Sports Talk Mississippi podcast.
2 days in a row.
And listen to our Monday and Tuesday shows. We'll tell you all about it.
Yeah.
In between me trying not to pass out from laughter.
There's nothing that Ole Miss could have said that would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when he hurt himself this week, which is so funny. Funny, maybe not the right word. It's fascinating because there was a time in a not distant past where look at how awful Mississippi is with race relations. That would have been just, oh, good job. You're so right. What a hero you are. Thank you for speaking out about this.
Yeah.
That would have been the media reaction.
Yeah.
That wasn't this time.
Agreed.
And so, no, they made the right choice. If Pete Golding's going to get asked about this at media days, if I were Kyle Campbell going through, hey, how to answer questions, I'm not focused on that. Other coaches can say what they want. I've got too much on my plate with my football team to worry about what another coach is saying about my football team. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have time to address stuff like that. I've got games that I got to try to go win.
I'm going to give you something. Just go with me here.
Okay.
We can take a shot, but it's kind of complimentary. We say, well, I certainly, living in Oxford. By the way, I would like to hold on. Let me preface my remarks. Everything I'm about to say is me acting like I'm Pete Golding.
Yes.
This is not actually Brian Hadad saying any of the following. You say something like, being in Oxford and seeing how great the town is and how great our program is and how much support we give. I understand why Lane wants to talk about it.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I understand why
others want to
talk about it. I understand why, because a lot of programs wish they had the fan base and the commitment that our fans have put forth. And that's why we've been successful, and that's why we're going to continue to be successful.
You can take another shot, too, we're the only program with a coaching change, and look at what we didn't lose in the portal.
Yeah.
Keywan Lacey had a coaching change. He decided to stay right here.
Our players want it to be a part of this. They want it to be in Ole Miss. They want it to be in Oxford. You can easily, Kyle, if you're listening, buddy, I just did that for you. All right, just remember that next time I ask for a parking pass.
Yeah, somebody says this quote Keith Carter gave to Chris Lowe is the closest thing to a response. Chris Lowe put it out last night, but yeah, Chris Lowe put it out last night. This is something from weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the quote is, if you wanted to go to LSU, that's fine. Go to LSU, but leave us alone. But because you don't get what you wanted in being able to coach the playoff, don't try to burn us down on the way out. I have a feeling that was probably off the record or expected to be off the record. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I kind of have a feeling that that's not the timing of that being put out there was not what was intended when Keith Carter said it a month ago. But yeah, silence was golden here. It was the right decision.
That's the way I'm handling this. If I'm Kyle Campbell, Pete Golding, I'm going to be like, make it sound like we understand why, because we've got a great thing going on at Ole Miss right now, and you know who wouldn't want to be a part of it, other than and then
move on.
Also, he's an idiot. Just say that. Be hilarious if Golding went the other way and was like, oh, I got something to say, all right. And he just blasted him. Just absolutely blasted him. Yo, that guy, yeah, when I saw him, you know, he would pop in about midnight while we had been working all day, be like, hey, you guys want Chipotle or something like that? Is there Chipotle in Oxford?
I think so.
Okay, then yeah, Chipotle.
Internally, I don't think they're going to have much of a problem with it. But, man, they're going to have to work overtime making sure the players don't get distracted by how much the third game is talked about when the first team can beat you. I'll give you a pass on Charlotte. Charlotte can't beat. Charlotte's not beating Ole Miss. They're not. They're physically incapable, basically.
Right, but
of winning
Louisville can beat Ole Miss.
Louisville can beat you.
We were talking about that today on the podcast, and what we did today, we did a little thought exercise. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we bring this to the show tomorrow, where without looking at schedules, without looking at anything, I just say the name of the team. What's their record in 2026? So we did that. But we were talking about Ole Miss, and we went in a little depth, and we asked, like, what's the floor? Carlo was much higher. He said their floor was like 8-4. And so that's the floor. And I was like, I disagree.
I don't know if that's the floor.
I said the floor is something like 6-6 because, yes, Golding had a good 3-game run there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a world where he's not a great coach. And having Chambliss and Lacey helps a lot, but I wonder if what you just said, right? They play Louisville, and it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, we're talking floor here.
This is the floor. This is as bad as they can be. So they lose to Louisville, and now you've already got a loss, and Kiffin's taking shots for 2 weeks, and then you lose that LSU game. I wonder if you just crumple under the emotion of that.
You've still got to play Texas,
you still got to play Texas,
Oklahoma,
all these
Florida
teams.
After the LSU game in Gainesville.
So, Ole Miss fans, if you're getting mad, I did say your ceiling is like 11-1 and right back in the mix of everything because you have a great quarterback, a great running back, great skill position guys, great pieces on defense.
Very experienced coaching
staff.
So
there's a big gap for Ole Miss between. And here's what I'll also say too is my prediction for Ole Miss much closer to their ceiling than it was to their floor. In case you're getting mad out there, Larry's
gonna get mad. When you've got a quarterback like that, your ceiling is just incredibly high, no matter what. New offensive coordinator doesn't matter if you got a quarterback like that. Then you've. It's hard to screw up the weapons that they've got. It's really hard to screw that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's there's 10 minutes on it, I suppose. But there's nothing really to add here. Ole Miss made the right call by not responding because he just kept digging yesterday and making it worse. And I mean, even Cam Newton came to your defense today. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. Cam Newton, Brandon Walker, those people came to.
You see Randy McMichaels?
No.
He had some comments, too. The former Georgia tight end played for the Dolphins. I think he played for the Saints. Ben Watson played for the Saints. I don't think
Ben Watson played for the Saints.
But he had some comments about Kiffin. And it was just like, I forget exactly what he called him. I think he called him LLK or something like that. And the co-host at that point was inconsolable. But, yeah, Just,
And he'll keep doing this, by the way. You guys think that just because this didn't work, you got all summer to deal with this?
Larry's like, come on, man. Hey there, I agree with you. I'm just checking in, brother. I just want to make sure we're still in the good.
Oh, man.
So, tomorrow, we'll do that thought exercise tomorrow.
I like that.
Just don't think about it. Don't look at the schedule. What's your gut? Boom. And I think, and look, obviously it's probably not going to be accurate. You know, if you add up the wins and the losses, they don't match. But it's just your gut. Mm-hmm. We'll come back and do all the predictions as we go. So that'll be a fun thing to do. Yeah.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We will wrap the show up with you when we come back on this Wednesday. Don't go anywhere.
And the Venom
best. The best. Sports talk in the state.
It's the best thing.
Say that again.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Hey, Dad, what's coming up on Thunder and Lightning here in about 10 minutes from right now?
We got to do some baseball talk. We'll go a little deeper into this matchup with Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Mark Etheridge will join us from D1 Baseball. They're a bracketologist. We'll talk about what State's got to do to make sure. We'll lock in what State's got to do this weekend out there in College Station, plus a little football talk as well. That's all coming up for you on Thunder and Lightning live here on Super Talk Mississippi.
What football talk you going to do?
I don't know, man. I'll figure something out.
Jeff Lebby didn't decide to be a civil rights activist this week, so there's probably not a whole lot going on. And
again, the people in the building were very progressive. We're going to be very intentional in the way that we troll Lane Kiffin. We're going to wait till we beat him, and then the people in the building are going to have something to say.
This is the worst time of year in college football when Lane Kiffin does not give 3 different interviews.
Yeah, if we hadn't had Kiffin, we would have been struggling for
a tough week.
So that being said, he needs to pick it up.
Yeah, keep going, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already done On 3, you've already done Vanity Fair, you've already done USA Today.
Is Maxim still around? He could do one for them.
Or Vogue, 17. Yeah, that's more his.
That's more his brain style, anyway.
Yeah, I was.
You were trying very hard there not to make a joke that would have gone the wrong way. You had to think.
So I was going to put AI his head on a cover of 17 magazine because 17 is for young women, but people would have taken that as something else, and I decided not to. But
correct.
The headline was about yoga. And I was like, this is perfect. But then it hit me. I was like, people aren't going to take this the right way. And
yeah, you got to be careful. So especially nowadays.
Yeah.
You don't need that heat.
And I also don't want to be somebody that is like even looking like I'm accusing somebody of doing something like that.
Right.
You know?
Because immediately I would go to our Super Talk account and just be like, Our own Michael Borkey breaking the news that Lane Kiffin is, and I would do that just to see how you reacted to it.
Somebody says, do it or you're scared. Yeah, I am scared of accusing somebody of something like that. Yeah, even looking like I am when I'm not. Yeah,
I
am absolutely.
Come on.
I absolutely. I'd never, ever, ever want to do that to somebody that has not given you actual reason to do so.
Yeah, Lane would have retweeted it. You're correct. Marty is correct.
And then he would have deleted it. No, but dude, he's Twitter silent right now.
Is he?
Oh yeah, go look.
Because it went the wrong way.
Yeah.
I haven't checked though. When was the last time Lane gave us some not since May 11th. He retweeted the Vanity Fair article.
And that was it?
And that was it.
See? Man. Yeah, no, I am scared of that.
Retweeted some from Blue Delta.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Especially, yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm so excited for the PGA. I know you're not. I can't wait.
Well, I'm excited that our friend Richard Cross gets to, I don't know if it's a lifelong dream, but I'm sure he's thought about it for quite some time to go and to be one of the voices on one of the major tournaments, you know. It's a hop, skip, and a jump to Augusta, Richard. You do good here, you know, then we talk about the British Open, then we talk about the U.S. Open, then next thing you know, you're welcoming the people. What's the name of that cabin?
Butler's.
We'll welcome people to Butler's cabin.
The U.S. Open, though, is aired by Fox. So he's got to change allegiances.
I tried, Richard. I tried to get you to the U.S. Open. You can get the British Open, though. Get you over to St. Andrews.
I don't think that's not an ESPN property either. But they do
it's
the
on
Masters.
ABC, isn't it? Isn't the British Open on ABC?
Well, it's the Open now. They dropped British because whatever. I know. I know. But they did.
It doesn't matter what their name is.
The Masters has an ESPN partnership.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. So there we go.
But, if anything interesting happens, we won't talk about it at length. We got baseball games happening tomorrow night. But if anything interesting happens, of course, we will we'll talk about it. I'm going to watch it all day, literally all day, as we prepare to talk about baseball, because that's what you guys want to hear tomorrow.
You go ahead and do that, then.
The last week of the regular season is here. Clearly defined stakes, pitching shakeup. I mean, in terms of interest in the results in baseball with all three teams, we have not had this in a while. And so, I mean, you know, an elementary point to make here. I'm just very excited about what is shaping up and what's on the line this weekend. It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. And at times, the last weekend of the regular season really hasn't been that interesting.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean,
because things have been either decided.
Last year, we knew that Ole Miss and Southern Miss were going to host, and Mississippi State was not. You know, 2 years ago, State was kind of in it. Oh, obviously Southern Miss. Southern Miss has been the
standard
rocket
bearer.
Here. They've been the standard bearer. But the other two schools, this year we had a lot of intrigue going into those final weeks.
I gotta go. Hadad is gonna give you another hour on these very stations you're listening to right now. So stick around for him. I will see you tomorrow at 3. More Hadad after the news.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.